The story begins in the city of Shanghai in a quiet room with a woman with blue-green hair. Sang Wangshan is breastfeeding her newborn son, telling her baby Chen how lucky he is just to eat and sleep, smiling as she says that although she loses sleep because of him, it is worth it if he grows up healthy and strong. What she doesn't know is that the baby is not ordinary. He is a reincarnate and possesses the consciousness of his previous life. While feeding, she notices that his brain is not fully developed, but he is still aware. A blue status screen appears, similar to that of a video game, identifying him as Lin Zichen, 33 days old. With an ordinary biological level of level 1, he realizes that he has a special ability, use and advance, at 3 months. Lin Zichen is in the crib while his parents Yang Wangshe and Lin Yansheng watch. His father comments how physically gifted the baby looks, predicting that he will become a powerful one. Gene fuser or at least a cyborg. While they talk, Lin Zichen is kicking. A system notification announces that he has kicked 10,000 times, granting him the biological attribute use and advance. This ability allows any part of his body that he trains to strengthen infinitely. Within the limits of carbon-based beings, he feels his strength increasing and wonders what his father meant by gene fusers and cyborgs, imagining superheroes. At 4 months, Lin Zichen has learned to sit and crawl. To avoid startling his parents with his abnormally fast development, he trains only at night. Every time he crawls, his system rewards him with points. A month later, at 5 months, he has already mastered walking. At 6 months, he can finally sit and crawl in front of his parents without it seeming too strange while they watch television. A report about aberrant beasts shows gene fusers and cyborgs joining forces to combat them. For the first time, Lin Zichen understands that this world is very different from his own. He learns that this land has mutated, giving rise to terrifying creatures called aberrant beasts. To combat them, humanity developed 2 paths. The first is mechanical ascension, where humans modify their bodies with technology to become powerful cyborgs. The second is genetic modification, where humans fuse their genes with those of aberrant beasts, becoming gene fusers to fight the monsters with their own power. Realizing the dangers, the reincarnated Lin Zichen decides to use his system to grow safely, evolving his abilities while keeping a low profile, and survive in this dangerous world. One day, the doorbell rings. Sang Wangshan opens it and finds a woman in a blue dress. Shemeng, her new neighbor. Shemeng introduces her family, her husband's secondary character, kidnapper Yang He, and her little daughter Shen Qinghan, who hugs a doll. Lin Zichen looks at the purple-haired girl and recognizes Shen Qinghan as his first friend in this new world. Feeling that their destinies will one day be closely linked, time passes, and Lin Zichen dedicates himself to training. 7 months, thanks to his ability use and advance, he has mastered running, jumping, and basic language talking to himself, gaining stat points for every activity. At 8 months, his training has progressed to doing sit-ups and push-ups in his crib, being careful to practice only when his parents are not nearby. But one day, his mother, Yang Wangshe, goes out to the balcony and is left in shock. Upon seeing her 8-month-old son doing sit-ups, she rubs her eyes in disbelief. However, as a web novel author, she dismisses it as a stress-induced hallucination. Lin Zichen immediately pretends to be asleep, breathing a sigh of relief and mentally noting to be more cautious. A few days later, while giving him a bath, Chang Wangshin makes another shocking discovery and screams, calling her husband, Lin Yansheng. When he rushes in, she points out that their 8-month-old son has defined abs. Lin Yansheng is astonished and excitedly suggests that their son could be a genius, 1 in a million, with a bright future as a powerful gene fuser or cyborg. Hearing this narrative of genius, Lin Zichen feels relieved that his secret is safe, realizing how fortunate he is to have 2 web novel authors as parents. Lin Zichen reflects that in this mutated land, he is not the only genius. He and his mother see a report about a 2-year-old from a family of martial artists who can lift a 20-kilo dumbbell with 1 hand. Sang Wangshin hugs her son, proudly declaring that her Chen is just as incredible. Lin Zichen is moved by his mother's confidence and wonders if he will also be able to lift 20 kilos when he turns 2. When Lin Zichen turns 2, his training has paid off. He has kept a low profile while secretly developing his strength, easily lifting a 20-kilo weight with 1 hand in the storage room. His session is interrupted when his mother alerts him that Shen Qinghan, the nickname Shen Qinghan, has come to play. Startled, he drops the weight and goes out, opening the door to find Shen Qinghan, also 2 years old, offering him a cake. Lin Zichen thinks to himself that due to their different mental ages, they do not play in a conventional way. While Shen Qinghan is a typical little girl, he takes advantage of life every moment to train. He has found a unique way to spend time with her, as she likes to be close. It serves as a perfect custom weight vest for his exercises. However, there is a recurring problem that he remembers when he feels a warm dampness and shouts that Shen Qinghan has wet herself again. Another year passes. At 3 years old, Lin Zichen's strength has grown exponentially, and he can lift a 40-kilo weight with one hand. While watching television, he sees a report about a 4-year-old prodigy who lifts 40-kilo weight, a 30 kilograms dumbbell, and notes with satisfaction that he is already stronger despite his progress. His system still shows his biological level as ordinary level 1 and wonders what he would need to reach level 2. With these questions in mind, he leaves his house for the first time. The outside world is an impressive urban landscape, and futuristic, with beastmen and cyborgs that he assumes are the gene fusers and cyborgs he has heard about. Accompanied by his mother and his neighbors Shumeng and Shen Qinghan, he heads to the library as his parents won't let him use electronic devices. Books are his best source of information. The library, his mother indicates the children's section, but Lin Zichen heads to the advanced encyclopedias, followed by a worried Shen Qinghan. The mothers watch confused. Shumeng asks why he likes those books, and Sang Wangshan assumes it's his genius genes, while Shen Qinghan offers him cookies. Lin Zichen is engrossed in his reading through the books, learns that all life is classified into 6 biological levels: ordinary, advanced, rare, epic, legendary, and mythical, each divided into 9 sublevels. He realizes that normal humans like his parents are at the very bottom, ordinary level 1, as insignificant as ants compared to beings of higher levels. This knowledge ignites a flame in Lin Zichen. He must accelerate his training while keeping his cover. His system alerts him of a new mission. Read 100 million characters to be rewarded with the celestial root of wisdom. Excited to train both mind and body, he accepts. Over the next year, Lin Zichen divides his time between physical training and voracious reading. At 4 years old, he and Shen Qinghan begin kindergarten under the guidance of their teacher, Miss Cao Mei. His hard work pays off shortly after starting school, as he advances to ordinary level 2. His physical prowess is immense. He can lift an 80 kilograms weight with one hand, jump 1.2 meters high, and run 100 meters in under 11 seconds. Outstanding stats for an adult, and much more for a preschool child. One day, he finds some kids surrounding a crying Shen Qinghan, calling her a PP girl. Seeing them bully his friend, he knows he must act. He jumps spectacularly in the midst of the bullies, stares them down, and delivers a terrifying threat. If anyone bothers Han Han again, they will wet their bed every day. The threat, though childish, is intimidating and works. The bullies burst into tears, swearing never to return to kindergarten. Shen Qinghan admires her protector with admiration. This act unlocks a new achievement, the title of King of Kindergarten, and a new series of missions. He is delighted to be able to work on several missions at once. Half a year later, he completes his reading mission, having read 100 million characters. He is rewarded with the celestial root of wisdom, which grants him an eidetic memory, perfect and the maximum capacity of human learning. Time flies, and soon he and Shen Qinghan are about to turn 7 years old, posing for their kindergarten graduation photo. Even during the holidays, Lin Zichen does not rest. Now strong enough to train with a huge 200-kilogram bar during the holidays, his skills reached new heights. He could jump over 2 meters high and had broken the 8-second barrier. In the 100 meters race with a time of 7.98 seconds, his mind was just as sharp. Driven by his new attribute, he had already completed most of the primary school curriculum. His new life began at Sunshine Primary School. Since he was already studying advanced subjects on his own, the academic competitions were easy. He effortlessly secured first place in the National Primary Academic Competition just to unlock his title. As soon as he had free time, he tutored secondary character, Kidnapper Jingen. Although he wasn't an exceptional talent, he was diligent, and with his help, her grades improved drastically. After a semester, she ranked second in the class, with Lin Zichen taking first place. To speed up his mission, he also participated in the school's sports meets, breaking all the records. Just when he thought his school life would continue in this predictable routine, a new transfer student appeared. The teacher introduced the newcomer, a girl with long silver blue hair named Bai Shu. Lin Yansheng and Chen immediately knew she was different. Standing at the door, he could feel a weak and unusual aura that did not belong to a normal human. As the new transfer student Bai Shu walks to find a seat, the other students watch her curiously. Shen Qinghan leans towards Lin Zichen, whom he calls Xiao Chen, and whispers about how beautiful Bai Shu's hair is, like snowflakes in winter. However, Lin Zichen is not in the mood to talk about aesthetics. While Bai Shu sits close to him, his mind is fixed on the strange non-human aura he perceives from her. He wonders if she could be a gene fuser or a descendant of one. In the following days, Bai Shu proves to be an enigma. She does not talk to anyone and rests her head on her desk as soon as class is over, remaining motionless. She hardly gets up to go to the bathroom. At first, the students feel curious and even take photos with her while she sleeps. But as her behavior does not change, they lose interest, and the classroom returns to its routine. This peace is broken more than a month later. A strange phenomenon begins. Bai Shu starts to secrete a white, viscous liquid. The substance has a latent, foul smell and drips down her clothes and legs. The other students react with disgust, complaining about the terrible odor. A malicious boy makes a rude comment about the liquid, and then pours the water from her bottle over her head, saying that she is washing her, humiliated and drenched. Bai Shu clenches her fist on the desk, and tears run down her face as she starts to cry. With her shoulders trembling in silent sobs, the bullies burst into cruel laughter at her distress. Observing from their desks, Shen Qinghan turns to Lin Zichen with a worried expression, asking if they can help the poor girl. Lin Zichen is confused. He had felt that Bai Shu was dangerous, so he doesn't understand why she is crying. He decides to help as he walks toward the bullies. He reevaluates his judgment. Although he still doesn't understand her, he realizes that, for now, she is not a threat. She is just a weak girl being bullied, and he has to intervene. Lin Zichen approaches the main bully and grabs him by the collar, saying his name, Wan Chun. With a menacing smile, he orders the boy to clean the water from Bai Shu's desk. Wan Chun. He is terrified and stammers that he will clean it up immediately. The other bullies, know they are in trouble. Lin Zichen was famous in school for being skilled in both academics and fights. Even the 6th graders dared not mess with him, knowing it is better to obey. They quickly grab paper towels and clean up the mess. Once the desk is clean, Lin Zichen's gaze sweeps over the group, ordering all those involved to apologize to her immediately. The sweaty and terrified bullies obey quickly. They line up in front of her desk and bow their heads, offering apologies and promising never to bother her again. When the bullies have left, Bai Shu looks up with still teary eyes. She thanks Lin Zichen and Shen Qinghan with gratitude. Shen Qinghan places a comforting hand on Bai Shu's shoulder, telling her that classmates are supposed to help each other. From that day on, Shen Qinghan is determined to befriend the quiet girl with white hair, always dragging Lin Zichen along with her. The three begin to spend their free time together. Shen Qinghan is especially kind, always sharing her tastiest snacks with Bai Shu first. During one of those moments, while Shen Qinghan offers her a sweet, Bai Shu hesitates, looks at them, and asks if they don't think it's disgusting because it smells so bad. She explains that she regrets not trusting them, but since she was little, she has always been rejected by everyone. That someone is kind to her feels so unreal that she thinks she must be dreaming. Bai Shu looks up, surprised when Shen Qinghan firmly tells her that this is not a dream. Shen Qinghan smiles kindly and tells her that he knows how it feels, so he would never find her disgusting. He declares that as long as Bai Shu is willing, they will be friends forever, including in the promise a slightly exasperated Lin Zichen. Overcome with emotion, Bai Shu tightly hugs Shen Qinghan, tears of gratitude streaming down her face. While thanking them for their kindness, she composes herself and tells them she wants to give them a gift in return. She shows them a necklace with a pair of beast fangs, explaining that it was a birthday gift from her mother. She gives it to them, hoping it can be a symbol of their friendship. Shen Qinghan. She accepts it enthusiastically, and the three children stand together in the schoolyard as the sun sets, joyfully declaring that they will be friends forever. However, just as their new friendship was solidifying, the unexpected happened. One day, Shen Qinghan is stunned to learn that Bai Shu has transferred schools. Lin Zichen confirms it, revealing that she saw her filling out the withdrawal papers, remembering having seen her from the office door. She saw Bai Shu with the principal and a large, intimidating man with cybernetic arms. The principal assured the man that Bai Shu's documentation was complete and that her information would remain confidential. The encounter confirmed Lin Zichen's suspicions that Bai Shu's identity was not simple. Since that day, she never saw Bai Shu again, left with doubts about her. But she notes that the events that followed were what truly captured her attention. Sometime later, Lin Zichen is at home giving her mother, Zhang Wangshan, a shoulder massage. She sighs in relief, telling her that the massage is perfect after a long day of typing. Lin Zichen notes to herself that she learned professional massage techniques thanks to her celestial root of wisdom. And who would have guessed their usefulness? Her quiet evening is interrupted by an important news report presenting another incredible achievement of the prodigy from Kyoto, who at just 10 years old, has successfully fused with aberrant beast genes and can now lift a 500 kilograms rock with one hand. Lin Zichen recognizes the boy and suddenly realizes that his gene fusion has already begun. Her father, Lin Yansheng, complains that the Kyoto prodigy is always on TV, wondering if they are trying to turn him into an influencer. The parents discuss it, and Lin Yansheng explains that the boy comes from a 1,000-year-old martial arts family, so they are likely to have advanced gene fusion technology. Zhang Wangshan argues that it is wrong to use a child as a guinea pig. Her husband retorts that for a family like that, family interests come first, earning a sarcastic "you know everything" from his wife. As their parents debate, Lin Zichen is lost in thought, remembering that before the fusion, the prodigy could lift 100 kilograms. Now, he can lift 500 kilograms, a five-fold increase. Lin Zichen, at just 8 years old, can already lift a 300 kilograms weight with one hand without any gene fusion, concluding by clenching her fist. With confidence that his own potential is much greater, his confidence was through the roof. But that feeling didn't last long. The next news report showed him the truth. Meaning of fear. A breaking news story shows a city in a neighboring country, completely devastated by a massive explosion. The report indicates that based on the footage, the attack was carried out by aberrant beasts. The screen shows horrifying images of monstrous rats swarming through the ruins, capturing a woman who screams with their enormous jaws, then brutally devouring her. The report continues confirming that some heretics were responsible for the attack by the aberrant beasts, fanning the flames from the shadows. At a press conference, an official from the devastated country of Sakura pleads for international help, explaining that the heretics are a shadowy sect that manipulates the beasts. Watching the news, Lin Zichen learns that the sect is an inhumane organization of traitors who serve the aberrant beasts for their own benefit. He feels relieved to have been born in a powerful and stable country, which gives him a safe place to strengthen himself while keeping a low profile. His thoughts are interrupted by sonic explosions outside. He runs to the window and pulls back the curtain to see a squad of heavily armed cyborgs flying through the night sky. He wonders why so many are being deployed, hoping that nothing bad is happening. The next morning, everything seems normal. Lin Zichen waits for Shen Qinghan, who arrives running, apologizing for being late. As he approaches, he notices something strange. The collar with the beast's fang that Bai Shu gave them, now worn by Shen Qinghan, emits a bright blue glow. He realizes that the fang is from an aberrant beast and the source of the faint, non-human aura he had sensed in her. The glow fades as quickly as it appeared. The two don't pay much attention to it. However, between the cyborgs and the reaction to the fang, Lin Zichen feels that something bad is about to happen. On the way to school, a striking woman with long red hair and dressed in black leans against a lamppost watching them. She comments on how adorable the children are and stands in front of them asking if they are brother and sister. Shen Qinghan corrects her proudly, explaining that they are childhood best friends. The woman smiles nostalgically, commenting that she wishes she had had a childhood friend too. Then her expression turns sinister as she leans toward them with shining eyes and asks why they are going to school alone and where their parents are. When Shen Qinghan begins to respond, Lin Zichen quickly grabs her hand, interrupting her. He pulls her away, saying that they are going to be late, leaving the mysterious woman behind once they are at a safe distance. He gently scolds Shen Qinghan, reminding her not to talk to strangers. She nods after school. Lin Zichen guides them through an empty alley. Shen Qinghan nervously comments on how creepy it island. Lin Zichen explains that the area is scheduled for demolition and that everyone has already moved out. Their walk is interrupted by a familiar voice. The red-haired woman from the morning appears, commenting that they have finally left school. She is not alone. A large, muscular man named secondary character Kidnapper is with her. The woman tells secondary character Kidnapper that she has the kids here. Lin Zichen is alarmed. She had deliberately chosen a different route, but somehow the woman had followed them. The woman tries to lure them in with a sweet voice, offering them treats. Her accomplice, secondary character Kidnapper, grows impatient. He tells her to stop talking and just knock out the kids so they can finish this without saying another word. Secondary character Kidnapper runs toward them with a cloth, shouting that she is in a hurry to sell them for money as Lin Zichen approaches. Zichen pushes Shen Qinghan out of the way and prepares to confront him. She clenches her fist and throws a powerful punch with all her strength. The blow lands squarely on secondary character Kidnapper's face, stunning the larger man. The immense force sends secondary character Kidnapper flying backward through the alley with a cry of pain. Red-haired woman watches in total disbelief, surprised that an elementary school child could send an adult man flying. On the ground, secondary character Kidnapper coughs up blood. Dazed, with secondary character Kidnapper downed, Lin Zichen turns to the red-haired woman. Before she can react, Lin Zichen delivers a precise punch to her stomach, followed by a powerful hook that knocks her unconscious. Standing over the defeated kidnappers, her expression hardens. She picks up a nearby brick with dark intentions. She reasons that without cameras in the empty alley, she must finish them off. If they live, their superhuman powers will be exposed, ruining her plan to go unnoticed and grow stronger. Just as she is about to deliver the final blow, ground shakes violently. A powerful earthquake rocks the alley, catching them by surprise. A moment later, a huge clawed hand breaks through the wall of a nearby building. A monstrous giant aberrant rat emerges from the dust and debris, looming over them. The beast ignores the children and hovers over the unconscious woman, but instead of devouring her, it decapitates her. With a swift swipe of its claws, the rat then picks up the severed head as Shen Qinghan screams in terror. Recognizing the danger, Lin Zichen picks up the horrified Shen Qinghan and tells her it is a giant aberrant rat. They have to get to safety. She turns around and starts running, taking her with her as they flee. As they escape, a red and gold flash streaks across the sky. A cyborg with blonde hair and accessories, in the shape of rabbit ears on her helmet, dives into the alley, moving with incredible speed, like a blur of motion as it zooms past Shen Qinghan, looking over Lin Zichen's shoulder, exclaiming how incredibly fast the cyborg island. The cyborg lands gracefully behind the monster, facing off against the rat. The cyborg prepares her attack. Her gauntlet glows as she charges her weapon and announces anesthetic smoke. She fires projectiles at the monster, causing massive explosions that shake the alley. Lin Zichen protects Shen Qinghan from the blast. The rat aberrant gets caught in the fierce explosions, roaring in pain and becomes dazed from the anesthetic smoke. Seeing her opportunity, the cyborg lunges forward and finishes off the weakened beast in a flurry of strikes. Later, Lin Zichen watches a report at home about the incident. She analyzes the fight, concluding that the cyborg's power level is probably not very high. She reasons that she had to weaken the rat first, and even then it took her 7 minutes to kill it. She reflects on the danger of giant aberrant rats, knowing they are resilient creatures that can grow over 10 meters long and reach the 5th ordinary level. Fortunately, they escaped unscathed, but the incident reminds her of the dangers of the world. She decides to intensify her training to protect herself and those she cares about. Later, she is seen in her training area doing squats with a heavy barbell while her system rewards her with points. Although the threat of aberrant rats looms over them, life goes on. Soon, he and secondary character, Kidnapper Wangxi celebrate their 9th birthday with both families around a large cake. After making their wishes, they exchange gifts. Thanks to her celestial root of wisdom, Lin Zichen had learned to carve in one night and made Shen Qinghan an intricate wooden hairpin. She is delighted, puts it in her hair, and exclaims how much she likes it. Time flies, and soon Lin Zichen and Shen Qinghan graduate from elementary school. They begin middle school, and as they leave, her system notifies her that she has completed the achievement of mastering 9 years of compulsory education, unlocking the titles of King of Kindergarten and Boss of Elementary School. She gets excited thinking about unlocking the next title, the Sovereign of Middle School, which will grant her the attribute, Survival of the Fittest. During the holidays, she sticks to a high-intensity training regimen. Her training includes 1,000 push-ups with a huge rock on her back, granting her significant stat boosts. Her hard work pays off just before classes begin. After a 10 kilometers run, her system announces that her biological level has advanced to the 3rd ordinary level. Her physical attributes increase dramatically. She can now lift 700 kilograms with one hand, has a vertical jump of 4 meters, and can run 100 meters flat in 6 seconds. As her power grows, she wonders what level the Prodigy from Kyoto has reached. Casually, the night before classes start, a news report appears on television. The report reveals that the Prodigy, now 14 years old, has fused with genes from a giant ant. They can lift a 2,000 kilograms alloy block with one hand. Lin Zichen calculates that since giant ant genes increase strength by 4 to 8 times, the Prodigy's true lifting capacity without genetic enhancement is only about 500 kilograms. This means that Lin Zichen is still fundamentally stronger. She smiles, imagining how powerful they will become with future gene fusions. The next day, they start high school. As the best student in the city, all the best high schools tried to recruit them. They accepted the invitation from Shanghai High School, but only if Shen Qinghan could be in their class during enrollment. They are welcomed by the principal and their new head teacher, who express how much they are counting on them. After some formalities, they make an excuse and leave with Shen Qinghan. The real reason they chose Shanghai High School was for its excellent sports facilities. They had planned to play badminton on the school court before classes officially began. On the court, an excited secondary character, Kidnapper Zhen, tells Lin Zichen, Xiao Chen, that they should start. She stylishly takes a shot, shouting her fairy curve. Lin Zichen easily catches the shuttlecock in the air, but their game is interrupted when a group of upperclassmen approaches. Their leader, wearing a backwards cap, snatches the shuttlecock away, informing them that the court is reserved. His friends mockingly offer to let Shen Qinghan stay and train with them. Shen Qinghan stands firm, telling them that they must follow the rules and that they arrived first. Lin Zichen, seeing that they are getting too close to Shen Qinghan, intervenes with a cold expression. They tell them to stay away from her and remind them of the rule that first come, first serve. The leader scoffs, arrogantly declaring that he is taking the court. The leader holds the shuttlecock and throws it into the air, but before he can hit it, Lin Zichen moves. They declare that from now on, their rules are the only ones that matter. With a surge of power, they jump and hit the shuttlecock with incredible force. The shuttlecock flies across the court like a white blur. It moves so fast that the leader barely has time to react. The force of the impact shatters his racket and sends his cap flying. The upperclassmen are left in shock, sweating and trembling. They wonder if Lin Zichen is even human, questioning whether they are a gene fuser. One of them, he destroys his racket and sends his cap flying. The older students are left in shock, sweating and trembling. They wonder if Lin Zichen is even human, questioning whether he is a gene fuser. One of them. He notes in terror that if the shot had deviated even a little, it would have taken his boss's head off, completely intimidated. The older students bow deeply to apologize, telling Lin Zichen that they now understand the rules and will leave immediately. Then they hurriedly retreat. Perhaps because the rumor about the incident has spread, no one dares to bother Lin Zichen or Shen Qinghan anymore. Aside from being larger and having better facilities, his new school life felt very similar academically to Lin Zichen. He was far ahead, having completed the high school curriculum. A long time ago, during classes, he read interesting books to pass the time at night. After his training, he used his celestial root of wisdom to learn new skills online, quickly searching in cooking, photography, driving, swimming, and various sports to unlock the title of it. The sovereign of high school not only ranked first in all subjects but also represented the school in competitions. Nationally, he found himself amidst a mountain of trophies to keep a low profile. He was careful not to win first place in all competitions. A semester passed, and the title still hadn't been unlocked. However, his performances earned him many admirers who left piles of love letters on his desk. He ignored them. Apart from giving private lessons to Shen Qinghan, he focused on the upcoming festival. He believed that if he mastered it completely, he would finally unlock the title. For the festival, he signed up for only 3 events: shot put, high jump, and sprint. These represented strength, jump, and speed. He achieved an amazing throw of 201 meters in the shot put. Although he held back to not seem too superhuman, he easily took first place in all his events. Just as he was sitting with Shen Qinghan admiring his gold medal, he felt a new power coursing through his body. A system notification appeared announcing that because his achievements far exceeded those of any other student, he had unlocked the title of Sovereign of High School with the 3 school-age titles unlocked. The achievement of mastering the 9 years of compulsory education was complete, and he had gained the new biological attribute, survival of the fittest. While the power flowed through him, he realized with satisfaction that the title had finally been unlocked. As Lin Zichen and Shen Qinghan leave the school, he reflects on his new attribute of survival of the fittest. This ability allows a predator to devour the vital essence of other creatures to evolve. He wonders what vital essence is, lost in his thoughts until Shen Qinghan calls him to wait for her. Coming back to reality, he gets an idea and asks Shen Qinghan if he can borrow her necklace with a beast fang. She agrees and hands it to him. The moment his fingers touch the fang, a system notification appears informing him that he has devoured a trace of the essence vital of the giant butterfly Avazal, unlocking a new guide with 1 out of 100 progress. A spectral image of a huge, dark butterfly with eyes on its wings appears around him, leaving him stunned. Realizing that the fang is actually a tooth from a butterfly, he hopes to gather more information that night. He searches for giant butterfly Avazal online, and to his surprise, the search yields no results. He realizes he will have to study this exotic beast on his own. He remembers that Bai Shu had given them a pair of fangs, rummages through his bag, and finds the second tooth. Holding the second fang, he absorbs its power once again. Another system notification sounds. It confirms that he has devoured a second trace of vital essence, but the guide's progress only increases to 2%. He looks at the fang with disappointment, realizing that he doesn't have much vital essence left. He concludes that he must find another way to unlock all the power of the giant butterfly Avazal. The next day, after school, he aims to boost his training and secure a quick escape route from any aberrant beast. Lin Zichen begins to bike Shen Qinghan to school every day. Quick to avoid any aberrant beasts, Lin Zichen starts biking Shen Qinghan to school every day. As they leave the school grounds, a man calls out to Zichen. The man, dressed in a tracksuit, stops them and introduces himself as the coach. Coach Guo, coach of the school's martial arts team, praises Lin Zichen's performance in the sports meet as the best in the school's history. With great enthusiasm, Coach Guo formally invites him to join the team, insisting that his athletic talent surpasses his academic skills. He urges Lin Zichen to accept but also offers time to get to know the team before deciding. Coach Wu speaks so quickly and passionately that Lin Zichen doesn't have the chance to refuse. Waving goodbye as they walk away, the coach tells them the martial arts team is in room C of the gym. Lin Zichen is back in his room, ready to test his new ability. He claps and crushes a cockroach and a mosquito he found. He opens his hands to examine the dead insects but feels no surge of power. He realizes that killing such small and ordinary creatures did not activate the ability. He deduces that only powerful or exotic beasts possess enough vital essence to be devoured for his evolution. To verify his new theory, Lin Zichen decides to visit a supermarket that sells beast meat with Shen Qinghan. Riding his bike into the city, they head to a large multi-story supermarket. In the back seat, he bikes toward the city. Soon, they arrive at a large multi-story supermarket. Inside, they walk through the aisles, and Lin Zichen observes that while there is a lot of beast meat, it is all prepackaged. He knows he can't test his theory without touching the meat. Just as he feels frustrated, he hears a butcher announcing freshly cut beast meat. He spots a counter with a sign that reads fresh beast meat, not prepackaged, safe for consumption, where a butcher is cutting large pieces of meat. He tells a confused Shen Qinghan to wait as he is going to take a look at the meat. He gives no further explanation, eager to confirm his suspicions, and rushes to the counter. He extends his hand and places it on a slice of freshly cut beast meat. At the moment of contact, a powerful wave of purple energy flows towards him. Just as he thought, the beast meat contains a strong wave of vital essence. He clenches his fist with excitement, and a broad smile spreads across his face. Shen Qinghan watches him, puzzled, wondering why he is so excited. Just from touching the meat, she approaches him with a concerned and confused expression, asking how the meat is. Trying to hide it, Lin Zichen casually tells a bewildered Shen Qinghan that the meat simply feels fresher than usual and asks if she wants to touch it too. She waves her hands frantically and refuses, saying that he has already touched enough for both of them. Having confirmed his theory, Lin Zichen decides to buy some beast meat to try at home, surprising Shen Qinghan. She is not surprised by his reaction, knowing that beast meat is incredibly expensive. Even the cheapest option, the phantom shadow squid, costs almost 1,000 yuan per piece. Determined to get the squid, he grabs a pack. Shen Qinghan panics over the price, telling him it's too expensive, and that he should first ask his mother. Lin Zichen just smiles and gives her a reassuring pat on the head, telling her not to worry, inventing the lie that his mother has already told him to buy enough for their two families. A flashback shows his mother, Zhang Wangshe, happily agreeing to prepare a feast. Internally, Lin Zichen admits that while sharing is part of his plan, his other, more important reason is to test if he can absorb the vital essence through consumption, as he is concerned that direct absorption might spoil the meat. At the register, he buys 3 packs of phantom shadow squid for the considerable sum of 2,994 yuan. The cashier thanks him as they leave. Lin Zichen thinks about how expensive the meat was, wondering when they will be able to afford it again. By the time they finish shopping, it is past 9 p.m. Knowing that the city has been chaotic lately, they decide to head straight home for safety. On the way home, Lin Zichen can't stop thinking about his experiment. Unable to wait, he discreetly places his hand on the meat package in the basket. He immediately feels a familiar wave of purple energy. His system confirms that he has devoured a trace of the essence of the phantom shadow squid. A new guide for the creature unlocks, but his progress, it's only the 0.1x101 spectral image of the threatening multi-eyed squid appearing in his mind. While they pedal through the quiet streets, he does some mental calculations and realizes that devouring a small amount of meat only unlocked a fraction of his power. He estimates he would need to devour 100 pounds to reach 100 out of 100 inches the guide, which would cost the astonishing amount of 100,000 yuan. He considers the squid's special ability to dissolve in water and disappear, and decides that the powerful ability is worth the price. His path is clear. He needs to earn a huge sum of money since he can't ask his family for it. Then he remembers his second reason for buying the meat, to test if absorbing its vital essence would spoil it. He takes a look at the package. It's been a while, but the meat seems perfectly fresh. He smiles, delighted that absorbing the essence doesn't ruin the meat. As he continues absorbing its power, his progress bar for the squid rises to 3%. His concentration breaks when Shen Qinghan yells a warning, slamming the brakes and stopping with a screech. Just inches away from a couple in the bike lane, he apologizes and scolds himself for not watching where he was going. He then wonders why the lane is so crowded. Shen Qinghan points ahead. They see a tense standoff. A muscular, red-haired man has a woman hostage at knife point. Shen Qinghan recognizes the hostage in terror as her teacher, Kaomei. The man shouts threats to the crowd. The area is surrounded by police officers, trying to calm the situation through a megaphone. The police captain stops an officer, a Bing, telling him not to shoot recklessly. The captain explains that the target is too close to the redarty and a groove hostage, and is using her as a shield, making a clean shot impossible. The officer suggests sleep gas, but the captain dismisses it, fearing it could provoke the suspect before it takes effect. While the police hesitate, Lin Zichen decides to act discreetly. He picks up a small stone from the pavement and throws it with incredible speed and accuracy. The stone hits the officer's weapon, a Bing causing it to accidentally fire. The stray bullet hits the kidnapper's hand, forcing him to scream and drop the knife, freeing teacher Kaomei. Seizing the opportunity, the police captain shouts to his team to move forward. The officers rush in and quickly arrest the unarmed suspect. While an officer comforts the terrified but unharmed teacher Kaomei, the situation is brought under control. Lin Zichen stealthily returns to his bicycle. Shen Qinghan looks at him with wide, questioning eyes and asks if he threw the stone. He quickly hushes her, saying they should leave and talk later, and they pedal away. Just as they are about to escape, a voice orders them to stop. The police captain calls them, asking if it was Lin Zichen who threw the stone, terrified of being discovered. Lin Zichen quickly denies everything with a nervous smile as the captain sees them right away. Finding it strange that someone wouldn't want to admit to a good deed, he reflects aloud that there is a reward for bravery, The word reward instantly captures Lin Zichen's attention as he needs money. He suddenly brakes, skidding to a stop, and runs back towards the captain. He timidly retracts his denial, admitting that he threw the stone and explaining that the money is very important to him. The captain tells him to go to the police station to file a report, promising to help him apply for the reward. After informing their families, Lin Zichen and Shen Qinghan prepare to head to the police station. He assumes everything will go smoothly, but as the police take the suspect away in handcuffs, something goes terribly wrong. The suspect's face begins to twist grotesquely. The police realize in horror that he is a variation of heretic and is mutating into a giant aberrant rat before their very eyes. The monster breaks its handcuffs and slashes with its enormous claws at the officers. The police captain grabs his radio, ordering all units to open fire but to protect the civilians. The officers unleash their weapons, but the bullets have no effect. A frantic report comes in identifying the heir as someone fused with genes from the king, rat, and requests immediate reinforcements. Realizing the danger, Lin Zichen apologizes, grabs both of them, and pulls them away, urging them to run. He feels relieved that the monster isn't chasing them, but he knows they need to escape quickly. As they flee, a new figure descends from the sky, surrounded by a purple aura. It is a female cyborg in sleek, futuristic armor who lands a powerful blow on the giant rat, causing it to stagger backward, hovering in the air. The cyborg, a woman with short, dark purple hair, begins to charge a laser cannon in her chest with the order to fire, unleashing a massive and devastating ray of energy that envelops the mutant rat. The creature roars in agony as it is completely disintegrated, leaving nothing but charred remains. Lin Zichen watches in awe at the incredible power of the cyborg. With the threat eliminated, Professor Kaomei and Shen Qinghan sigh in relief. Lin Zichen, however, is more concerned about his bicycle, noticing with relief that the explosion didn't reach it, which would have been a huge financial loss. Just as the tension decreases, he has a sudden revelation. He looks in the basket of the bicycle and sees that the expensive ghost shadow squid meat has spoiled, emitting a foul odor. He now understands that his initial theory was correct. Absorbing the load of scratchin, vital essence causes the meat to spoil, but with a delay holding a tentacle. Flaccid realizes he needs an excuse and decides to blame the fight and the deceased hour, staging a dramatic scene. He throws the damaged tentacle to the ground, loudly blaming the heretic and the cyborg's attack for having roasted the meat. Professor Kaomei comforts him, saying that the important thing is that everyone is safe, even though they plan to go home at the captain's request. They end up going with the security team to the police station, not expecting to be transported in the same van. The van contains the remains of the heir after the laser explosion, everything that was left. It was a pile of charred flesh on a stretcher, and the smell was intense as he sat in the stinking van. Another thought strikes Lin Zichen. He remembers that the fangs of Bai Shu still contained vital essence. Long after the creature died, a new possibility opens before him. There could also be vital essence in this corpse. And if so, he could devour the gene of the Rat King from the corpse for himself while sitting in the police van. Lin Zichen wonders which part of the Rat King's gene he can devour from the charred remains of the heretic, determined to find out. Discreetly, he reaches his hand towards the remains, and at the moment he makes contact, he feels a powerful surge of red energy in his system. It confirms that he has devoured a trace of the vital essence of the giant mutant rat, unlocking his guide. With an impressive 5% progress, he is surprised by how much he has absorbed and realizes that the freshness of the source is directly proportional to the amount of vital essence he can obtain. The officer escorting them, Bing, notices his movement and tells him to stay still. Lin Zichen quickly claims he just needed to stretch. Later, in the public security office, he knows that while it was easy to fool A Bing, the security captain is much shrewder. The captain informs Lin Zichen that he has requested his reward for bravery, but then questions him more seriously. He asks how a high school student from such a distance and in low light was able to strike with such precision the hand of the heir holding the knife with a stone. Lin Zichen gives a vague answer, stating that it's because he often trains his right hand. The strange response leaves the captain speechless. Their conversation is interrupted when Shen Qinghan shouts that his aunt is here. Lin Zichen is surprised to see his parents rushing into the police station. His mother runs towards him in panic, screaming his name with a terrified expression. She hugs him tightly. She asks if he is okay and tells him that he gave her a scare of a lifetime. He tries to calm her down, assuring her that he is fine and even that he received a reward for his bravery. Calming her by assuring her that he is fine and even received a reward for his bravery. Hugging him tightly. His mother makes him promise that the next time there is danger, he will hide first in a safe place. She tells him with tears in her eyes that all she wants is to see him grow up safe. Lin Zichen is visibly moved by his mother's sincere concern. As he leaves, Lin Zichen assures his mother that he will always protect himself first. The police captain watches them leave, still pondering the strange. On the way out, Lin Zichen passes by two policewomen who are discussing the case. One comments that the perverts are becoming more brazen, and her colleague reveals that the heir was a liberal arts student from Manhwa University whom the cult of the rat god had brainwashed. The first officer curses the cult, but the second points out that they need to eliminate the root cause, the self-proclaimed Rat King. The name immediately captures Lin Zichen's attention. On the car ride home, she starts investigating the rat god cult immediately. Surprised to find a wealth of information, she learns that the cult's main base is in the city of Shanghai and that most of its members are social outcasts. She discovers shocking information, suggesting that the Rat King wants to evolve into a higher form of life and is forcing his followers to gather evolution materials. This leads her to a chilling question. Has the Rat King developed consciousness as an aberrant beast? Her thoughts are interrupted when she looks out the window and sees a giant rat, almost the size of a cat, on the sidewalk. For a moment, she wonders if it is related to the Rat King, but she quickly dismisses the idea, telling herself that in the South, cat-sized rats are not that unusual. Discarding the thought, she realizes how quiet Shen Qinghan has been. She looks to the side and sees her squirming uncomfortably, with her knees pressed together. She understands immediately, recalling that ever since she was a child, whenever she gets nervous or scared, she can't control her bladder. Although it's embarrassing for her, Lin Zichen has always felt that this peculiar reaction might be related to some hidden potential within her. When they arrive home, Lin Zichen's mother, Sang Wangshan, is surprised that the beast meat worth almost 3,000 yuan has disappeared. Lin Zichen quickly thinks of an excuse, timidly claiming that it must have fallen during the emergency. Her mother immediately prioritizes her safety, telling her to forget about the meat and that the only thing that matters is that she is unharmed. Lin Zichen sighs in relief inside, happy to have fooled her mother. However, her father, Lin Yansheng, is more stubborn. He announces that he is going to go back to look for the expensive meat, boasting that a slave of predestined wages like him is tough. Lin Zichen announcement that he is going back to retrieve the expensive meat, bragging that a slave of predestined wages like him is tough. Lin Zichen tries to stop him, arguing that it is too dangerous and that the meat is already spoiled. His father begins to suspect, asking him how he could know it had spoiled. Sweating nervously, Lin Zichen quickly claims it was an obvious assumption. Meanwhile, back in the now empty, the public security office, the police captain continues to reflect on the strange events of the night while smoking a cigarette he can't shake off. The question of how an ordinary high school student could have thrown a stone with such incredible power and precision. Suddenly, he hears a strange noise in the corner. His eyes widen in surprise as he sees a huge rat, much larger than any normal rodent, perched atop the filing cabinets. Before he can react, the giant rat jumps. The captain instantly draws his gun and opens fire. The confrontation is quick and violent, ending in a bloody blur. The next day in class, Lin Zichen sighs at her desk, reflecting on the previous night. She concludes that she is still too weak compared to the powerful heretic, and the female cyborg needs to earn money quickly to buy more beast meat, like the phantom shadow squid, to fill the progress bar of her guide. She considers becoming an influencer or selling study material but dismisses the idea as too flashy and contrary to her goal of keeping a low profile. Suddenly, an idea strikes her. She remembers that in this world, martial arts and gene fusing are more important than academics. She decides it's time to take action. Later, she heads to the gym where the martial arts team practices. In Building C, she finds Coach Guo, Coach Dot, drinking from a thermos and greets him. A surprised Coach Guo asks if she is there to join, or just to learn more about the team. Instead of answering, Lin Zichen leans in and discreetly asks if joining the team offers the opportunity to compete in city tournaments and if the prize money is high. The coach smiles, confirming that she would have a chance and that the prizes are worth tens of thousands. With her main concern resolved, shakes the coach's hand and announces that she is joining the martial arts team today. Coach Guo Coach welcomes her happily. The coach gathers the team to announce their new member, introducing Lin Zichen and reminding them of her performance as the champion of the sports meet. The other team members, Shanghai Wan Tianxing divided by Ashing, Xing or Wan Tianxing divided by Ashing, Li Shuotong and Han Jiguo introduce themselves. Finally, Lin Zichen introduces herself as Lin Zichen. She has no formal martial arts training. Coach Guo Coach shows her basic punching and kicking techniques. The coach explains that the movements seem simple but are difficult to master, noting that it took the fastest learner on the team, Li Shuotong, a week to perfect them. He then encourages Lin Zichen to give it a try. Lin Zichen adopts a ready stance, thanks to his celestial root of wisdom attribute, which grants him martial insight that seems to fall from the sky. He has already memorized and understood every detail of the demonstration just by watching while practicing the punching techniques. System notification grants him points in vitality, strength, dexterity, and competence. He executes hand and fist movements with impeccable precision and speed, seamlessly transitioning to leg techniques, performing powerful and fluid kicks. Another system notification grants him points for his leg muscles, dexterity, and competence. The coach and the team watch in stunned silence. The coach's jaw drops, and he nearly drops the thermos, unable to believe it. He wonders how someone could learn the complex forms perfectly after just one glance. Watching the flawless execution, a single thought forms in his mind. He must be a martial arts prodigy, one in a million. That afternoon in Shanghai, Lin Zichen's mother, secondary character Kidnapper Wang, calls him for dinner. He rushes out eagerly, spoon in hand, asking what she has prepared. She proudly presents a large tray of the shadow squid that he wanted. The aroma is incredible, and he tells his mother how amazing it smells. She urges him to eat while it's hot. He takes a bite and praises her cooking as the best in the world. Pleased, she tells him to eat a lot since she bought 3 whole squids for him while he eats. A system notification appears. He has devoured a trace of the vital essence of the shadow squid. By consuming it, he raises the progress of his guide to 3.01%. He realizes with frustration that eating the meat works just as well. If he had known, he wouldn't have ruined the first batch by touching it. While they eat, a news report catches his attention. It's about a genius girl, 14 years old, the youngest cyborg in history after merging with an energy core. Her energy system grants her superhuman abilities, lifting a 5,000 kilograms SUV with one hand, running 100 meters in 3 seconds, and jumping 8 meters vertically. Seeing this, Lin Zichen reflects on the debate in his world between the gene fusion of the Prodigy from Kyoto and this girl's cybernetics. Which path is stronger? His thoughts are interrupted by another breaking news report announcing that the security captain they met, He Chun-shan, was killed in his office. Surveillance footage showed he was attacked and devoured by a giant mutant rat that infiltrated the station. Doctors are shown carrying his body on a stretcher to an ambulance. Lin Zichen is horrified. He recalls the large rat he saw the night before and wonders if it was related. He imagines a giant rat rampaging through the city. The captain's death is a grim reminder of the growing danger. Staring intently, Lin Zichen decides that he must intensify his training immediately. After the death of police captain Lin Zichen, he dedicates himself to a grueling training regimen following an intense practice. Now he can run 100 meters in a striking 4.61 seconds. His physical power has skyrocketed. His vertical jump is 5.3 meters, and he can lift an astonishing amount of 1,200 kilograms with one hand. In addition to his personal training, he continues his martial arts practice with the school's team, hoping to quickly increase his strength for the upcoming tournament the next morning at school. He heads to the gym to practice, with a curious Shen Qinghan following him along the way. A girl with pink hair warmly greets Lin Zichen and offers him a bottle of fresh milk. He politely declines, thanking her as he walks past with Shen Qinghan, leaving the girl disappointed. Watching from a distance is his teammate. Shanghai clenches his fist in anger, resentful that the person who defeated him in the sports meet is rejecting a gift from the girl he admires. Unable to contain his frustration, Shanghai steps forward and blocks their path. He confronts Lin Zichen, scolding him for his bad manners and for hurting the girl's feelings. When Lin Zichen calmly explains that he is allergic to milk, Shanghai refuses to believe him and calls him a liar. Enraged, Shanghai points at Lin Zichen and challenges him to a fight, setting the terms: if he loses, he will never bother Lin Zichen again, but if Lin Zichen loses, he must drink the entire bottle of milk. Just as the challenge is thrown down, a new system notification appears. It has been activated. A new achievement mission. Defeat 1,000 different opponents in a competition. Formal for the biological trait of survival of the fittest. A sly smile spreads across Lin Zichen's face. This is the opportunity he has been waiting for. Surrounded by a threatening purple aura, he accepts the challenge. His eyes shining with anticipation as he enters the fight. News of the duel spreads. Quickly throughout the school, two students eagerly decide to go watch the fight between the popular freshman Lin Zichen and one of the seniors. By the time they are ready, the gym is packed with spectators. Forming a large circle around the combat zone, the crowd is clearly on Lin Zichen's side. Many of his fans cheer him on, telling him to teach his opponent a lesson, including the pink-haired girl from before, who is preparing her phone in Shanghai mocks, annoyed that everyone assumes he is going to lose. She admits to herself that Lin Zichen's talent has grown incredibly over the last month. Lin Zichen has grown incredibly over the last month. He sees this duel as his last opportunity to put the rising genius in his place and demonstrate his own strength in contrast to the intensity of his opponent. Lin Zichen seems unperturbed. He casually states that he needs to go home for dinner and asks if they can make the fight quick. Taking this as an insult, Shanghai smiles smugly and agrees to grant him his wish. Coach steps in between them to officiate. He raises his hand to start, reminding them of the rules. However, before the fight begins, Shanghai shouts for them to wait. With a condescending smile, he offers Lin Zichen a disadvantage. He points out that he has trained for nearly 2 years, while Lin Zichen is a novice with only 1 month of experience. And to be fair, he declares that he will allow Lin Zichen a 3-to-1 advantage. Lin Zichen simply accepts. The moment he accepts, Lin Zichen explodes into motion, closing the distance in an instant, catching Shanghai by surprise. Before his opponent can raise his guard, Lin Zichen unleashes a single, devastating punch. The blow impacts with brutal force, causing blood to fly from Shanghai's nose. He collapses unconscious instantly, crumpling to the gym floor. The entire gym falls into stunned silence as Coach drops his jaw in disbelief, shouting that the fight has ended with a single blow. The rest of the martial arts team and the crowd are equally shocked, calling the outcome ridiculous, unable to process that the duel ended in just 1 second. The silence is broken by a roar of celebration from Sen Shinhan. She raises her fist in the air, ecstatically celebrating Lin Zichen's victory. The other girls, including the one with pink hair, join in, shouting how incredible it has been. Standing over her defeated opponent, Lin Zichen receives a notification from the system. It informs him that by defeating a rival and winning the affection of the opposite sex, he has obtained priority mating rights. And more importantly, the progress of his new mission is now at 1,000. He reflects that he still has a long way to go to unlock the natural selection attribute to accelerate his progress. He turns to the remaining terrified members of the martial arts team with a friendly yet unsettling smile. He suggests that they should also fight. The team members stare at him, their faces pale with horror. Immediately, they all begin to make pathetic excuses. One has remedial classes, another's mother is waiting for him to have dinner, while others pretend to feel unwell. Before they can flee, Shanghai struggles to kneel, refusing to accept his defeat, angrily accusing Lin Zichen of a sneak attack and swearing to crush him in a rematch. Coach intervenes, telling Shanghai to accept his defeat like a man. The coach then wonders aloud if the punch was just a lucky shot, deciding to test the theory with another team member named Xiaolisi. Upon hearing his name, a boy with spiky hair freezes in terror, though he adopts a fighting stance. He is clearly terrified, pleading with Lin Zichen for mercy and not to hit him in the face. 10 minutes later, the results are clear. Several members of the martial arts team are already unconscious on the gym floor. Lin Zichen stands over them, pointing out that he made sure not to be too hard on them. He only exchanged a few blows, but when he checks his system again, he feels disappointed. Aside from the initial victory, none of the other fights counted toward his achievement. The rival counter remains at 1,000. He realizes that friendly matches are not enough. He has to defeat rivals in an official competition. As he thinks about this, a hand pats him on the shoulder. Coach smiles maniacally, declaring that Lin Zichen is a true genius. He exclaims that in just over a month, the newcomer has become the ace of the team. Full of newfound confidence, the coach proclaims that with Lin Zichen at the helm, their school will crush all the others and take first place in this year's regional martial arts tournament. While Coach Guo celebrates, Lin Zichen has a moment of clarity. He realizes that the coach is right. The next tournament is the perfect opportunity to face many official opponents at once. He shows determination, understanding that as long as he defeats them in an official competition, each victory should count towards his progress. His thoughts are interrupted when a defeated Shanghai calls out his name. Having regained consciousness, Shanghai stands up, points to Lin Zichen, and formally accepts his defeat with a strange and overly graphic declaration of his mission. Your strange words leave everyone, including Shen Qinghan, Coach Guo, Coach, and Lin Zichen, completely surprised and disturbed. With the duel over, the spectators and the coach quickly flee, leaving a bewildered Shanghai alone, complaining that he hadn't finished his speech. In this world, high school students must choose between martial arts or academic studies. Given the dangers of the world, the martial arts class is considered the superior option. Determined not to be left behind, secondary character, Kidnapper Qinghan decides to join the martial arts class and starts training rigorously with Lin Zichen. His daily routine is intense. They start with a 3,000 meters run, followed by an hour of hand-to-hand combat practice. After that, they do sit-ups and push-ups to build strength. To conclude each session, Lin Zichen gives Shanghai a massage to relieve his muscle tension. Of course, Lin Zichen does not neglect his own training. He pushes himself to the max every day, driven by the goal of winning the tournament and unlocking the dollar, natural selection attribute as quickly as possible. A month later, all his hard work is about to be put to the test. The day of the tournament has come, and a determined Lin Zichen is ready to compete. The tournament is held in the enormous city gym with a large crowd around a central fighting ring. In the waiting area, the atmosphere is tense. Coach Guo nervously checks the match list, complaining that his institute, the Shanghai Institute, got matched against the strongest team, the Shanghai Institute. Another team member increases the anxiety, mentioning that their opponents have a fighter who can run 100 meters flat in under 9 seconds, making them feel at a disadvantage. Feeling the team's low morale, Lin Zichen calmly raises his hand and volunteers to fight first. Although still worried, Coach Guo agrees to let his ace step onto the stage. As Lin Zichen enters the arena, Shen Qinghan cheers him on from the sidelines while Coach Guo shouts encouragement through a megaphone. Lin Zichen prepares for the fight. His opponent, a student, much larger and more muscular from the Shanghai Institute, steps forward knowing Lin Zichen's talent for having made it to the tournament as a freshman. However, his tone quickly turns mocking as he sneers that the stage isn't made for a shorty who doesn't even reach 1.7 meters. Flexing his bicep, he promises to show Lin Zichen what it feels like to have a true difference in size and power. The referee signals for the duel to start. The burly opponent lunges forward, unleashing a powerful punch. To his surprise, Lin Zichen does not back down, effortlessly dodging the blow and counterattacking with a quick punch to his opponent's chest. The impact is devastating. The force sends the huge student flying backward across the arena, leaving him unconscious. The announcer stares in stunned silence before stammering a victory for Lin Zichen. On the sidelines, Shen Qinghan jumps up, exclaiming that his Xiao Chen was incredible. The rest of the team from the Gallery Province Shanghai Institute is already celebrating, surrounding their coach and shouting that Lin Zichen is insane, dismissing the strength of their opponent as pure useless muscle. Meanwhile, on the other side, the coach of the Shanghai Institute is furious, scolding his defeated student for rushing in blindly, without using his footwork. Back in the ring, Lin Zichen receives a notification from the system, confirming that he has defeated another tournament rival, improving his ranking and bringing his elimination count to 2,000. He clenches his fist, satisfied that these matches are what he needs to advance. The opposing coach, determined to stop this, calls for his next fighter, a boy named Chen Feng, and orders him to crush the freshman as quickly as possible. Chen Feng calmly nods, steps onto the stage and takes a ready stance, appearing much more composed than the last fighter. The announcer signals for the match to begin. In the second duel, Chen Feng immediately demonstrates his superior technique, moving with incredible speed and launching a flurry of attacks. Lin Zichen calmly faces the assault, blocking a powerful kick with one hand. However, the force of his block sends Chen Feng spinning wildly through the air before he crashes forcefully into the ground, unconscious. The medics rush in with a stretcher and take away Chen Feng, saying he needs a cranial scan. The crowd is left bewildered. They murmur among themselves, wondering what just happened and speculating that the student from Shanghai Institute must have incredible luck. Some angry spectators shout that the tournament must be rigged, demanding a refund. However, the coach of Shanghai Institute knows that it is not the case. Grabbing his head in despair, he realizes with growing horror that it is not about luck. The first-year student from Shanghai Institute is genuine. Back in the waiting area, the coach has a new strategy. He calls for his next fighter, a sharp-haired boy named Gao Fei, and gives him strict orders to focus entirely on defense. Warning him that he cannot afford to lose, Gao Fei, however, is overflowing with confidence. He calmly tells his coach not to worry, assuring him that he will win as he walks towards the ring. Gao Fei internally dismisses Lin Zichen's victories. He believes his opponent is not strong and has only won with tricks. With his superior speed, running 100 meters in less than 9 seconds, and his greater experience, he is sure he cannot lose. The crowd is buzzing. Spectators discuss Gao Fei's reputation, marveling at his speed. One person mentions that his father is a gene fuser, which explains Trizen's, his enhanced abilities. The consensus is that Lin Zichen's impressive streak is about to end. Although they recognize his great potential, the announcer signals for the duel to begin, ignoring his coach's instructions. Gao Fei immediately launches into the offense, pouncing on Lin Zichen with a powerful kick. He follows up with quick punches, unleashing his special technique, the rock-breaking fist. His coach watches in fury, yelling at his disobedient student for attacking. Gao Fei scoffs at the defense, believing that a genius like him does not need it. Meanwhile, Lin Zichen easily dodges the punches, finding the technique interesting and deciding to learn it on the spot. Gao Fei gets frustrated, unable to land a single hit. He stops, out of breath, and demands to know how Lin Zichen is dodging his attacks. Unfazed, Lin Zichen calmly asks him if he has any other moves. Provoked, an enraged Gao Fei unleashes another desperate flurry of punches. Seeing the same predictable movements, Lin Zichen decides that the observation time is over. He thinks to himself, "Very well, let's end this," effortlessly dodging the last punch and counterattacking. With a single powerful kick to Gao Fei's abdomen, ending the fight instantly. The crowd is once again left in astounded silence, which is broken by the thunderous cheers of the supporters from Shanghai Institute. Coach Guo Coach and secondary character Kidnapper Shanhan are ecstatic, shouting that their Xiao Chen is a beast and celebrating his third consecutive victory. The rest of the tournament goes by with the same ease. The next opponents are even weaker. He defeats each one effortlessly and soon eliminates all 5 fighters from the opposing team by himself. During the following 2 days, the story is very similar. He continues his dominant performance. He defeats 2 more institutes by himself. Thanks to his incredible display, he manages to lead the institute, Shanghai, to win the championship. He and his team pose proudly with their medals and trophy. However, when he checks his system, his rival count is only 16,000. He realizes with disappointment that at this rate, it will take years to unlock the natural selection attribute. Despite the slow progress of his mission, there is a silver lining. He didn't expect Coach Guo Coach to be so generous, but he takes away most of the tournament prize money, 20,000 yuan total. Combining this with the prize money from the academic competitions, he now has around 30,000 yuan. That money doesn't last long. He spends it all immediately at the supermarket on a massive supply of shadow ghost squid meat. In the following weeks, he devours the expensive meat at every meal. After consuming 30 kilograms, the progress of unlocking his code for the shadow ghost squid reaches 30.3%. His intensive training and consumption of beast meat bear fruit. In his second year of high school, he advances to the next level. He moves from ordinary biological level 3 to level 4. His physical abilities reach new heights. He can now lift 1,890 kilograms effortlessly with one hand, jump 5.65 meters vertically, and run 100 meters in just 4.49 seconds. Time flies, and soon he and Shen Qinghan graduate from the secondary division of Shanghai Institute. However, when the results are published for the entrance exam to high school, their paths seem destined to separate. A distraught Shen Qinghan is sitting in her room crying. She asks Lin Zichen why, after all her hard work, he can no longer attend the same institute. He explains to her that although he ranked first in both academics and martial arts, and her academic grades were excellent, her martial arts score was not high enough for the elite class at Shanghai Institute. While comforting the crying Shun Qinghan, she asks him what will happen now. He tells her that the principal of Shanghai Institute is going to come to her house, probably to recruit him. She asks if she will come, feeling hopeless. She replies in tears that it has nothing to do with her since the director obviously only comes for him. Taking her hand, Lin Zichen lifts her and takes her out of the room. He tells her not to worry, he has a plan. He reveals his only condition to stay at the institute, Shanghai, that Shen Qinghan be his desk partner.